Hello, this is Daniel from P3DIN, and today I'm going to show you how to optimize a 3D model for better display on the web. To do this, we're going to be using the 3D software Blender, which is available for free at blender.org. So, to start, let's clean the interface, clear everything that is loaded by default. We can do this by selecting everything with the A key. So press A a couple of times until everything is selected with an orange outline. And then we will press the X key to delete everything. Now we can go ahead and import on the File menu, and then Import, and then in this case we will select Wavefront OBJ. And I want to say thanks to Nolan from Poe Productions for providing this useful mesh for this presentation. While it loads, I wanted to explain that this will be a two-part video. The first one will be about optimizing the mesh itself, and the second part will be about optimizing the texture, because both are rather big in this case and not very optimized. So we can do a little better, and this will make it run on P3DIN a lot better too, and support more devices. So here we got the mesh already, and the first thing we will do is press the home key on our keyboards. This will fit the entire model on the scene, but if you rotate it with the middle mouse button, you will notice that we have something called clipping issues, because part of the model is being clipped. So this is because the model is rather large. So we'll press the N key, N as in no. So N, actually as in numeric. And we will find, let's make sure that the imported mesh is selected. So we can do this in the outliner here by left clicking on it. And now we see that the dimensions of this object are about 1 kilometer, so almost 1,000 meters. And this is the problem currently, because the camera, which is located here on the View tab, is displaying only from 0.1 meters to 1,000 meters. So depending on how far you are from the model, it will clip it. So let's say display up to 5 kilometers or 5,000 meters, and this will solve our problem. Next, there's a couple other things I like to do to prepare the scene, like verifying the orientation. Now, this isn't really necessary to do in Blender because P3DIN has inbuilt tools to correct the default orientation, but we will do it here anyway. So to check this, let's go to the View menu and go to the top camera. And you see that we aren't actually seeing the model from the top now. And this could be because the model has been imported with a rotation. So again, make sure that you have the mesh selected, and in this case let's clear, let's click on the middle of this value and clear the rotation with a 0. And that's it. That fixed that issue. So great. Now let's work on optimizing the mesh. If you noticed here on the top header of Blender, we got 1,000,000 triangles, and that is, well, it is not impossibly big, but some computers and especially some devices will have problem with this. So not ideal. And if we enter wireframe mode in Blender with this menu, we select wireframe and you can see how dense it is. And this is not normally necessary. So let's switch back to solid. One more thing before we continue, let's make sure that the texture loaded correctly. So to do that, we will go and find the texture icon. So it's the one with a checkered square. And here we will find the image panel and source. So in the source we will click on the folder icon, and here we go to the location of this texture file and select it again. Now it's loading correctly, and we can verify this by putting the viewport shading mode in texture mode. So that looks quite good, and we can proceed to do the process of decimation. Decimation is a way to reduce the polygon count without actually changing that much the shape of the model. So to do this, we're going to add a modifier. The modifiers in Blender are added on with mesh selected again, are added on this space, mark it with kind of a blue tool. So click on add modifier and find the decimate modifier. So click on it once, and the modifier has been added now. It is active already, but it isn't doing anything because the ratio is set to 1. This means that it will keep the exact amount of triangles that you gave it. If, for example, we put it like 0.5, this will mean that it will cut the amount of triangles in half. Let's see how it goes. This should take a little while, but not too long. So it's already done, and it has cut the amount of triangles to 500,000 now, from 1 million to 500,000. And this is still too much. I believe we can do better. Of course, the final decision is yours, and this will depend on each case, but I believe we could do with about 100,000 faces. So let's choose 0.1 as the decimation ratio. Again, it will take just a little time. It already finished, and as you can see, there isn't really much of a difference in the shape. But if we go to wireframe mode, you see that, whoa, it is really much lighter now. And we're using about 100,000 triangles, which is much better for web purposes. And in this type of models, if the texture remains the same, the apparent detail will also remain the same, so it works really nicely. We can go ahead and now apply this modifier by clicking on the apply button, and this will make the change permanent. And with this, I think the first part of the videos are finished, and see you on the next one for improving how the texture mapping is done. Goodbye.